gaming.
Since the dawn of time, 1971, humans like you and me have been obsessed with controlling moving pixels on an overpriced screen. Nowadays, it's literally hardwired into our consciousness. Eat, sleep, game, repeat. Our thumbs were designed to mash buttons repeatedly, surely. So what is it about video games that intrigues us, and more specifically me, so much? Well, if anything, it's simply down to how immersive they are. If we look at the progression of art over history, we definitely won't be doing that, but just imagine, it's kind of evolved over time, like we have. Now of course, all different forms of art are equal to each other, but video games push the medium forward using one tool most other forms of art lack: interactivity. If you tried to interact with the Mona Lisa, you'd end up interacting with your cellmate for the next 4 to 8 fucking years. Games put you in control of the art. You're the main character in a fictional world, controlling the fates of everyone inside of it. Experience some of the most convincing and immersive dialogue with those characters, with a branching story that changes their opinion on you as the plot unravels in real time. The plot you basically set in motion yourself. How cool is that? Now of course, what I've just described only usually applies to a role-playing game, or RPG, and obviously these concepts have evolved over time too. Interactivity is cool and literally the entire point of a video game, but do you know what's even cooler? When the game's actually fun.
If it's not fun, why bother?
Not every video game is good. Some games we think are going to turn out great will be massive disappointments, and that sucks. Because usually there's a team of highly talented individuals behind the title, often let down by poor management or direction. EA, Ubisoft, EA, Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard, EA. Well, needless to say, the gaming industry is absolutely fucking massive, forecasted to reach a worth of almost 300 billion by 2025. And with more than 2.5 billion epic gamers worldwide, there has to be a team of people to make those games for them to play. Teams with individuals on them. Individuals like me.
I fell asleep beneath the flowers for a couple of hours on a beautiful day.
How did I get here?
Now, throughout my life, I've always considered myself to be quite creative, and I've always been looking for the best outlets to express that creativity within. Over the years, I've been able to express this successfully through years of different experiments with video, serious or otherwise.
Certified UKIP. 7 days a week.
Or my endeavours in music.
A few new friends just sitting by, calling space their home.
I still continue to create these forms of content, but over time I found they were no longer scratching the deranged creative itch in my brain as well anymore. I needed to explore new avenues. More specifically, I needed to find a creative medium that was fully immersed, something where I'd have total control over every aspect of the creation, where I could micromanage and construct each individual piece and sew it together into something great. Now you probably know where I'm going with all this, but you know, stay with me. At some point in 2017, during another one of my school's famed tech club meetings, basically a place for all the nerds to gather after school, we decided that we were going to make a game. Spoiler alert, we didn't make a game, but I did come up with some ideas and a concept that would stick with me to this day. Dreaming. Setting a game inside a dream world seemed especially intriguing. Setting a game inside a dream world seemed especially intriguing to me. Since dreams were already so abstract, I knew I could make something really weird. For the next few years, this idea would float around in my subconscious until Christmas 2019. This is where I'd finally crack open a program I bought years ago for the first time, RPG Maker. RPG Maker is a tool that lets you make your own RPG games with barely any coding knowledge required. I describe it as kind of powerful in its limitations. So I started to make something. Using some free assets I found online and a lack of any real sense of direction, I cobbled together a small proof of concept, Project Rose. It wasn't much and didn't really let you do anything, but it was a start. It built an aesthetic and technically established the two most important characters for the natural evolution of this project. It hadn't hit me at this point that this stupid little tech demo would slowly start to consume my life over the next few years. I had no idea what was waiting for me, and neither did my friends, who I immediately began pestering to help me work on this damn thing. And so, whether they liked it or not, they were strapped onto the Owen Game Dev Zeppelin, and our indie game studio was formed. NeuRoILLOGICal, formerly known as Sick Boy Studios before I realised what a copyright hell naming a company after a train spotting character would be.
It's shite being Scottish!
The group was founded on the principles of equality and cooperation, like France. But nobody likes France. Edit here. Lots of people like France. This was just a joke. I'm sorry to the French Republic. What I mean by this is that my game was equally their game. After all, each individual on the team has such a wide range of talents that it'd be really stupid not to let them utilise them all to their full potential for anything they liked on the project. The video games industry is already micromanaged enough by smug business blokes who have no clue what the hell a video game even is.
We make games, I think! Aye, right.
Let the people making the damn thing take full control. Anyways, enough rambling, let me talk about the game. I made a deal with God himself to not let me die before this damn game is finished. Cerebrum is, for lack of a better phrase,
A bit mental.
a story and character-driven JRPG. I really haven't put this much work into anything else in my life. In fact, I'm pretty sure this game is my life now. I've come to describe it as a punk rock video game. We're taking aspects and mechanics from games that inspire us, putting our own spin on them and making them our own. Like with music, there's only so much that can be done with video games. The options are more varied, of course, but at the end of the day, most of them will end up following the same formula. I mean, Nirvana basically stole the riff for Come As You Are from Killing Joke. Both are good songs, but totally different. Like I said earlier, the game's main concept is dreaming. Specifically, it explores a highly cracked universe based on different states of consciousness that I'm not going to get into here because trying to explain this to anybody makes me look schizophrenic. To keep it simple, let's just say the plot takes place inside the dream world, in heavy quotations.
How do cult leaders control the minds of others? And which of them is most evil?
In Cerebrum, you play as Casey Vieira, an incredibly introverted person. So introverted, in fact, that they haven't left their house. Ever. Like any terminally online teenager, they spend most of their time doom scrolling on social media and messaging epic gamers on Discord until one fateful day.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
Tired of living in absolute squalor surrounded by their own trash, Casey decides that enough is enough. It's garbage day. So they head out into the scary outside world where literally anything could happen and... hang on a minute. Literally nobody lives here. God damn it, Casey. Well, except for their just as neurotic neighbour Jamie, who, after introducing himself, explains that strange occurrences have been happening inside the neighbouring Zest Woods, local forest potentially containing murderers. But he's not worried about murders, he's worried about magnets.
Water, fire, air, and dirt. Fucking magnets. How do they work? I don't want to talk.
High-density electromagnetic waves that have been sending people nuts temporarily, or even worse, making them disappear entirely. After some deliberation, Casey agrees to help Jamie on his quest to find out what the hell is going on, and the game begins proper. Now, the rest of the story is a heavy work in progress and will probably be up until release, but to summarise... After heading to the forest, the two of them get zapped by one of the electromagnetic waves, woogly stuff happens, and they end up in the dream world. They face many trials and tribulations within that haven't been written yet, that I won't go into here, all orchestrated by a single company. An evil interdimensional terrorist organisation, the Dread Organisation, fronted by a man-made entity of pure destruction named Dread. Originally just a neurological research facility, it ran numerous unethical experiments upon the human brain for almost 50 years, trying to destroy it.
225 volts.
All Dread himself knows, or has been programmed to understand really, is destruction. In his DNA was coded one word, simply destroy. You know, it sounds pretty edgy, but I thought it was cool. The game shows the organisation preparing to reach its end goal, the destruction of everything. This was Dread's pre-programmed conclusion, his fate, simply destroy. And out of all the forms he could have chosen to be, with almost infinite energy, he chose Cat. That's right, we're dealing with an evil Meow Meow, my favourite gender. He's bringing about the end of everything, even time itself, by sipping from the infinite power that resides within the dream world. One thing the organisation learned is that the human brain is pretty damn powerful, and it basically powers the entire dream world. It's down to the main cast, 4 dumb kids, to take on the organisation single-handedly, using their own different skills, talents, intuition, and guns, definitely a lot of those. This is their purpose. Clearly, they are a big deal. There's a lot of intricacies to this story, and I feel like if I keep going, I'm just going to spoil the game for people who might end up playing it in the future, so I'll leave it here. But by God, am I not excited by this serious possibility that holy shit, I might actually become a game developer, and I might actually make a good game that I'm seriously interested in, with friends I love dearly who share the same enthusiasm as me. To get real for a second, I've been suffering quite a lot recently with mental health issues and the like, but this project is a genuine motivator for me, you know, to get out of damn bed and do something with my life and make an impact on the art form I've loved for all of said life. I don't know what the future holds, I really don't, but hopefully it will include a silly little cat making brains explode at some point, so you know, that's something to look forward to.